What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Classic WoW video for Mists of Pandaria Classic. Now today's video will be focused on one specific gold making strategy that will very likely produce thousands of gold very easily at the start of Mists of Pandaria, and I really just don't want you guys to miss out on this opportunity. Now this gold making strategy requires you to go into Mists of Pandaria with a little bit of knowledge about what's happening in Mists of Pandaria itself, so unless you're playing on the beta or watching videos like this one, or just doing some research about Mists of Pandaria, this one can be very easy to actually miss out on. Now I'm also just going to mention real fast at the start here that I do have a gold making guide for Mists of Pandaria for those of you who want to learn more about gold making and take your gold making to the next level in Mists of Pandaria as well, covering pretty much everything you want to know about gold making, whether it's crafting, professions, non-professions, farming, you name it. It's 85 pages long right now, possibly more information to come as well, in which case you get the updates sent to you for free, and right now you also get the Cataclysm guide in the same purchase, effectively giving you two guides for the price of one. Basically, you buy the Mists of Pandaria one and get the Cataclysm one for free in that same purchase. That way you can use the Cataclysm guide to prepare yourself for Mists of Pandaria, and use the Mists of Pandaria one to make insane amounts of gold in Mists of Pandaria as well. You can check it out through the link down below. You will also get early access to content, so gold farms in Mists of Pandaria you will have access to before they go public, and even right now there's a couple of exclusive videos that I already have for the guide that you can check out from the start. That way you will have even more information about where to farm, and those spots will be exclusive. Either way, check it out through the link down below in the video description. So in Mists of Pandaria, much like a lot of other expansions, we have something called daily crafts. This kind of goes all the way back to Classic WoW, when you can do Mooncloth on a daily cooldown. For tailoring, for example, turning Feathercloth into Mooncloth. The same thing happened in TBC, the same thing happened in Wrath, and the same thing happened in Cataclysm. And no shock there, we have the same thing in Mists of Pandaria for tailoring. So I have tailoring on this character, for example. We have something called Imperial Silk, and that is a daily cooldown. You can see right here, I've done it for today, and the cooldown resets daily. Now, I'm not here to talk about tailoring, but I'm here to talk about daily cooldowns, and one profession that has never had a daily cooldown before, that has one now. That is going to be Inscription. Inscription has access to an item called Scroll of Wisdom, and this one, as you can see, cooldown resets daily, so once again, daily cooldown. And the reason why this one is so important is, well, you can see right here, it's bind when picked up, in which case you're starting to think, why is this one good, or even important for gold making? And I don't really have any craft right now where this one is relevant, but there is one that I'm getting access to when I get to 600 skills. So going to my scribe trainer right now, you can see that if I scroll all the way down, you will have access to a craft called Dark Moon Card of the Mists. This one requires a light parchment, starlight ink, 10 of those, and 1 scroll of wisdom. Now that means, once again, this one requires a scroll of wisdom to make a Dark Moon card, and this one gives you a random Dark Moon card of the Mist, collecting a full set to receive the reward. Now to get a full set, you need to have 8 cards of the same type, and there are 4 different types you can get as well. So if you only have 1 scribe, and once again the scrolls are soulbound, so if you have 1 scribe, you can make 1 card every single day. That being said, the cards can be traded, so you can start selling. Even if you just get 1 card, you can put the card on the auction house and make gold that way from people that are buying individual cards and then crafting entire decks. Once again, the amount of cards you'll be able to make in Mists of Pandaria will be gated and will be time gated, which means when the raids are opening, there's only gonna be X amount of Dark Moon cards available, and that means supply versus demand. Supply is limited, demand is pretty much the same as before. The people that want Dark Moon cards will want them this time around as well, and for some people, it's a best in slot trinket. I mean, we have the information right here. Here you can see the cooldown craft itself, 1 day cooldown. On the craft, we have the Darkmoon card of Mists, and here we have two of the usually most expensive trinkets, Relic of Suen and Relic of Yulon. Now, this is basically the agility and the intellect trinket, or the DPS trinket, right? So these two trinkets are usually the most expensive, and I believe the Relic of Suen is the most expensive one, especially, at least it has been in the past, and it's probably going to be this time around as well. You also have a strength version of the Relic of Suen, by the way, so like if you're a strength class, you're not missing out. There's a strength version as well. Now, this is a big change to how Inscription works, because back in Wrath of the Lich King, when the Inscription hype and the Darkmoon card trinket hype started taking off, people could mass craft. You could basically have one scribe making thousands of cards every single day and just pumping out profits. Now, that also made it very, very like competitive, and you could once again craft as many cards as you wanted, as long as there was enough inks on the auction house. The same thing happened in Cataclysm. You could mass craft cards. I mean, I had one scribe in Cataclysm, and I believe I made like, what, 300 trinkets and sold? So one scribe could make a bunch of trinkets. In Mists of Pandaria, that's going to change entirely, and you can only make one card for every scribe you have. Now, once again, there's 4 different sets you can collect. There's 8 cards per set, which means if you have perfect RNG, so you spread this out evenly, it would take you about, like, you would need to have 32 days to get all of the different decks. Now, chances are you will get duplicates, and you might get the bad ones, like the ones that are cheap on the auction house. It will take you forever to get a full deck if you only have one scribe, which means you will likely sell individual cards on the auction house. Now, this also means that the amount of gold you can make scales directly with how many characters you have. Let's just say that making a Scroll of Wisdom, turning it into a Darkmoon card, gives you about 1,000 gold profit. That is 1,000 gold per day, per scribe, so that would be 30,000 gold per month if you have one scribe. If you have 10, it is 300,000 gold per month, only by logging in and pressing one button, and that's all you have to do. So my advice here is to, number 1, level up a bunch of characters right now to level 85 so you can start pumping out Inscription craft. So basically just have enough characters with professional slots available on those characters, and then you can decide whether you want to skill up Inscription now in Cataclysm before Mists of Pandaria comes out, or skill it up in Mists of Pandaria. As you can see on the screen right now, you do get access to kind of a catch-up mechanic, allowing you to craft certain things to go all the way from about 50 skills, I think, to 525 using only one craft. So for example, I can burn through Inks of Dreams right now, and I'm gonna skill up crafting Tome of the Clear Mind all the way from about 100 skill to about 525, just to show you guys that it works. So there will be a catch-up mechanic, but the question is, will this catch-up mechanic be cheaper than skilling up right now in Cataclysm, because you require 1 Ink of Dream for every single craft, and chances are they are going to be quite expensive, especially at the launch of Mists of Pandaria. So yeah, this right here is going to be an amazing gold making opportunity at the start of Mists of Pandaria. It's probably going to be less valuable later in the expansion, so you really don't want to miss out at the start here. So level up those characters now, and consider leveling up Inscription right now as well to be as ready as you can for Mists of Pandaria itself. Now, I should say that this craft right here, the scroll itself, is available pretty much from the start. I think you need 525 or 530 to start crafting this, but you cannot generate a profit from this until you get to about 600 skill. You can do a couple of other crafts like epic craft, but if you want to actually make Darkmoon Card of the Mists, you need to have 600 skill as well. So you need to burn a little bit of gold to get all that way, but once again, you can start making, like this epic right here is a bound to account, and also requires 20 Scrolls of Wisdom. I believe this one is a BOE, yeah, like these ones right here, the offhands. You can make those if you have 5 Scrolls of Wisdom, and sell those for gold, and they require 560. So you could alternatively make that to skill up and make gold at the same time, but if you want to participate in the Darkmoon card rush, you need to be 600 skill to make those cards. Either way, hopefully this video right here was informative and gave you some information that you otherwise didn't have, and more than anything else, I hope it helps you make some gold in Mists of Pandaria Classic. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, check out the gold making guide through the video description, and let me know if you have any other plans for your gold making in the comments. I would love to hear how you're approaching the expansion, so let me know in the comments. Either way, that's it for now, so thank you for watching, and I will see you guys again in the next video very soon.